We all know the exact feeling of having our peace shattered. A sharp insult, a sudden failure, or an unexpected stressor instantly tightens the chest and floods the mind with panic. Most of us operate with an internal emotional state that relies entirely on external validation. When the environment is favorable, we feel secure. When the environment turns hostile, our security collapses. We tie ourselves to the script of our daily lives. We begin to genuinely believe that our worldly labels, our jobs, our bank accounts, our social standing, actually define our true identity. Consider a man living on the streets, taking shelter under a bridge. Every single day, his survival and his sense of worth hinge entirely on the spare change and fleeting judgments of the passing strangers. The question is whether someone in that vulnerable position, or anyone tied to the unpredictable script of the outside world, can find an unshakable inner peace completely insulated from those external forces. Through a sudden, joyful stroke of luck, the man's circumstances flip overnight. He acquires massive wealth, pulling him instantly out of poverty. With boundless hope, he moves to a new city. He collaborates with brilliant minds and builds a phenomenal, sprawling business empire, blossoming into a deeply abundant magnate. Years go by. One afternoon, while organizing his magnificent mansion, he uncovers a preserved box containing the very same torn clothes he used to wear on the streets. Sparked by a playful heart, he decides to run an experiment. He puts those tattered clothes back on, travels back to his old town, and settles back into his exact old spot under the bridge. The crowds rush past just as they used to. Reacting solely to his appearance, passersby begin whispering. Some throw pitying glances, while others outright mock him. Yet, sitting there against the concrete, he experiences pure, absolute bliss. His total lack of suffering proves that external judgments only inflict pain when we actually believe the costume we are wearing is who we are. Curious, how exactly does a person sit through public ridicule and remain radiant and unbothered? This is the actor versus character framework, drawing a distinction between the temporary social roles we play and the permanent conscious observer behind them. When passersby throw insults, those arrows strike the opaque character mask, never reaching the untouchable actor underneath. He sits there holding the quiet internal knowledge of the massive wealth and security he truly possesses. Because he knows he owns the mansion, he doesn't need the crowd to believe he does. Armed with that internal security, the hostility of the street becomes weightless. He is simply enjoying the physical act of playing a temporary role, completely detached from the local street drama. Emotional immunity is achieved by relocating your sense of self. It requires shifting your identity away from the vulnerable character on the outside and grounding it in the untouchable actor on the inside. You do not need a business empire to test this out. Every single night, you already practice this complete detachment from your worldly character. This graph charts mental activity. The erratic, high-frequency spikes of waking hours suddenly drop into a perfectly flat baseline during deep sleep. Here, you drop the act entirely, naturally letting go of your ego, uniting with a source of peace independent of your daytime personality. Joyful meditation functions as the bridge to this state. Joyful meditation is a dedicated practice of peaceful observation, designed to pull that boundless, sleep-like bliss directly into your everyday waking hours. By regularly stepping back to observe your thoughts and your environment without judgment, the mind's old limitations melt away. You realize you have the power to consciously access that deep inner wealth at any given moment. The man under the bridge was peaceful because he knew his bank account was full. You can be peaceful because you know your true nature remains intact, even when your ego disappears in sleep. This persistent, unchanging observer is your actual identity. By identifying with this observer rather than the role, the outside world stops functioning as a stressful battleground. It opens up into a joyful stage, a place where life is a beautiful, engaging play. You can still execute your worldly roles flawlessly, going to work, raising a family, interacting with society. But you watch the situations unfold like a captivating movie, beautifully relaxed and unattached to the drama. When you recognize this internal source as your protective shadow by day and your guiding light by night, there is absolutely nothing to fear, only a victorious, radiant life to embrace and celebrate.